Guten Afternoon. I don't know what language that is, but hey.
It's German, wasn't it?
Guten Afternoon, bienvenue, willkommen, and all the other greetings around the world and the universe.
Transylvanian, maybe. Welcome
to the show, which is called
Sunday Chat.
Have you done your shirt up, Paul? Good. You had it a little bit low earlier. I said people might start having sexual fantasies about you.
I said I doubt that very much.
I don't know, Paul. Somebody out there might be weird enough to find you attractive.
My hobbit feet.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, look, you can see my feet today.
Those nails. No, that's not another delivery, is it? For me? No, I don't think so. I'm not expecting anything else.
That's all it's been this week.
Well, I'm on my...
Paul, I might have a parcel arriving today. Oh, Paul, I might have 2 parcels arriving today. Oh, Paul, something's arriving for me today. Every bloody day.
If you continue, imminent death may occur. Well, I'm on my fragrance journey. I am. I'm on my fragrance blending journey, Paul. Don't take it away from me. Don't take my joy away.
No, you
as
didn't
you
make
so often
one that
do.
Smelt nice this week.
Well, there's been several blends on the go, which is, you know, practice makes perfect, and I think one of them is a cracker. It's a cracker.
A cinnamon cracker.
It does have a little bit of cinnamon in it.
Cinnamon bark.
Ruff, ruff. Yeah,
like that.
If you continue along this vein of stupidity, I will shout cut.
Oh dear.
So, welcome, bloody welcome. Thank you for joining us today on this Saturday afternoon for us. And it's Sunday for you.
Sunday the what?
Sunday evening.
Sunday 21st.
Sunday morning.
Will be Sunday 21st.
Whenever you're watching. Welcome. Just ignore him.
Birthday.
Just ignore. It's nearly your... Oh God, it is nearly your birthday.
It is, yeah.
Look at me, I've been buying all of these things and haven't had a thought in the world for buying you a gift.
Well, we don't, do we?
No, we don't waste money on frivolous things such as
that
birthday
might bring
gifts
pleasure to somebody else.
For each other. No, I don't think so.
Oh dear.
So, if you're new to our channel, welcome and thank you for subscribing. And if you aren't new to our channel but you watch every week, just double check that you actually are subscribed.
And notifications.
Because you know what? There's like 30% of people that watch are not subscribed.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, well, there we are.
I
there
know.
We are.
How selfish of you.
Oh.
Just hit the subscribe button.
I think it's generous of us to allow those people to watch, really.
Well, I think it's generous of anybody to watch, frankly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's rather amazing, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
We've got this little arena of people watching regularly and being loyal and lovely. Loyal and... Loyal and lovely. It's like a brand, loyal and lovely. Isn't it?
Yeah, that's marvellous. Trademark it. Oh, yeah, fantastic.
Loyal and lovely.
Oh, trademarks, they're such a nightmare.
Anywho, Paul, shush now. Don't be silly. We always kick off, that's what I was going to say before you rudely interrupted me. We usually kick off with Richard and Paul's weather report.
Oh, we always kick off with Richard, not usually.
Usually?
Always.
Always, usually, kick off with our weather report. Paul, what has the weather been like this week? Has it been okay or absolutely shite?
Well, it's been both, really.
Yes, you're right.
We had the hottest day of the year yesterday, that for you is 2 days ago, on Friday, and that was 32 degrees it hit here.
It was 34 at one point.
34 at one point, there we are.
It was in the sun.
Today, it's about at least 10 or 12 degrees cooler.
But,
and it feels like it.
But it
and
is
fresher.
but it is a little bit sticky.
It is, yeah.
Humid.
Yeah. Moistness in the air, yeah. Particularly after the rain earlier.
But it's not too bad.
I got very moist when I was down at the plot.
Yes, it rained. It did rain. We had a shower.
And by the time I got back, my shirt was dry. I think I'd my body heat had got rid of it.
Oh, well, I've just had an idea. Maybe when I do a wash, I could hang the clothes on you. You could walk round the block and come back with them all dry.
I could do.
That would be a way to save, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I'd get the things right and the collars right then, certainly. Yeah.
Lovely. There we are. Just ask a friend or perhaps a pensioner to walk around parading your clothes.
If we still had a Conservative government, they could most probably do that for the unemployed as well.
And in the winter, maybe invite an old person to come into your home and act as a draft excluder. Anywho.
So the week ahead is around average temperatures around our area, around 23, 24 degrees. It's going to be rain on Monday and rain on Thursday and cloudy and sunny, so typical, basically.
Well, I mean, it did rain on St. Swithin's Day, didn't it?
It did.
What do they say? If it rains on St. Swithin's Day...
It will rain for 40 days
and
40 nights. So that's already been proven wrong, because it didn't rain yesterday.
No, by God it hasn't.
But yeah, so we're back to our sort of normal weather, I think.
Normal summer weather.
Yeah.
Joyous.
Why are you pressing my toe?
Oh, sorry, Paul. Anywho, how has the working week been, Paul? Now, your working week this week was a little bit different to how it normally is.
Yeah, I mean...
You became a surf of the day, didn't you?
I did. Yes. I helped one of our plot holders who helped us with the sink last year, and he asked me to go and help him with a workshop.
Yeah.
And
why don't you explain
I was just about to explain what he does.
Honestly.
Before you rudely interrupted me.
Well, Paul, I mean, you need to get on with it.
With a workshop. And in this workshop, I mentioned it last week, you get newspapers, 6 sheets of newspapers, fold them in a particular way, roll them up, little bit of glue on the end, then they go into a machine that looks like a mangle. You turn the handle, it turns this, you pull a lever down, it presses down, and the newspaper becomes rods.
May
really
I just ask a question, sir?
No, really quite strong rods. Question.
Who made the machine and is it available on Amazon?
No, it's not. But it was made by somebody that this plot holder knows.
Oh, so it's a homemade machine?
It's a homemade machine, and this plot holder has got, I think, 8 of them. And yeah, you bolt them to a table, you know, with clamps, and you make these rods. And then the task for the students was to build the outline in rods of a structure that they could all stand or sit within. And I mean, it sounds really quite bizarre. And there were 90, I think it was 98 kids per session. And I haven't worked with 98 kids per session for many, many years. And every single one of them, with quite a bit of help from our fellow plot holder and also from me, because it was a great day. It was a great day from me. They all built the structure. Every single team ended up with a structure that they could sit within. Aww. Some didn't need a lot of help. Some just needed a bit of sort of nudging and assistance. Other teams needed quite a lot of assistance to get to that end, you know, structure. But the good thing is, both sessions, which were 2 hours each of the teams got to the structure, which of course which enforces the fact that you can do something even if you think you can't, which I think was quite valuable for me too, because I was quite anxious about this event. I'd not I'd not done it before. I've not worked with that many kids for very many years, and I was quite anxious about it. You know, would I be the assistant that my plot holder needed to be able to allow him to deliver effectively this workshop? And it turned out I was, which was great.
And you even dealt with some children who didn't comply, didn't you, Paul?
Yeah. There were a few kids who were a bit disruptive.
Yeah, they're the cool kids, I think you'll find.
And they were, they left the workshop.
That would have been me.
That would have been you, absolutely.
Yeah.
I would have been the one really trying to understand the folds of the paper and the rolling up to be able to do that bit. Not quite so much the structure bit, because I sort of would already know that, but it would have been the folding bit that I'd have got really excited about.
I'd have left to gone to the loo and gone for a cigarette behind the bike sheds.
Yeah, you most probably would.
Yeah, of course.
I don't think there are any bike sheds that you can go and have a cigarette behind.
Well, I'd have found a place.
But it was a very early start. I had to get up at 5:15. I was being picked up at 6:10, and then the first session was at 8:30. Though actually they were all a bit late. I think it was the registering of the class. There was some confusion, but it was a really good day. And interestingly, one of the people said, one of the students, "Do you do YouTube, sir?" I went, "Yes." And he said, "My mum and dad watch you. My mum watches Richard, my dad watches your allotment things, and they both watch Sunday Chat."
So if you're watching now, your child was taken care of properly by Paul.
And it was quite funny, one other one, when they knew this.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, absolutely.
Mr. and Mrs. La Duda.
Parent, yeah. And one person said, "Oh, do you make any money from that?" And I said, "Well, some, but not a lot."
That's small.
And I was sort of trying to reinforce the whole sort of point of the workshop was that if engineering and this type of thing is of interest to you, maybe being an engineer and training to be an engineer is something that you could do. And yeah, we were talking about the fact that with my fellow plot holder, he's only had 2 careers, but now somebody who's sort of around the age of sort of 14, 15, they're likely to have 4 or 5 different careers. It's, you know, it's changed quite drastically in some careers that people didn't even know existed, or we don't even know at the moment existed.
I've had more than 4 or 5 careers.
I know you have, but I think we're unusual.
But there's the thing. No, I actually don't think that's true.
Your sister.
No, listen. When we
well,
were
it's
at
a proven fact.
When we were at school.
No, I was saying our fellow plot holder is 10 years older than us, isn't he?
Yeah, but we were not destined to have jobs for more than 2 years because they changed the employment law, and they could get rid of you.
No, I know, but
very easily.
That's changing jobs. That's not changing career.
Yeah, and I was going to say there's a difference between a career,
yeah,
and a job.
Absolutely, I was talking about careers. I didn't use the word job until just a moment ago.
God.
So yeah, it was a good day. I was exhausted by the end of it. Absolutely exhausted. I felt I'd done like a morning at the allotment. It was really like a full morning as well. So yeah. How was your working week, Richard?
This week it's been okay. I mean, this week there's been nothing spectacular about this week at all. It's just been boring, farty work. That's it.
Lovely. Thank you for that description.
There's been nothing special about this week. It's kind of like flatlining.
You're quite special though.
But Well, I like to think so, Paul.
I think quite a lot of your work colleagues think you're quite special.
They do, I think you find.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know what I was saying now. This week, no, it's been punctuated by my fragrance journey, my scent fragrance journey. No, it has. Shush now, Paul. You all know I like my obsessions. A few weeks ago it was Tudor Baby Dream.
Obsession?
Obsession.
That's a scent.
Yeah, but I don't like obsession.
Oh, you don't like
No.
it. Obsession.
I like the classics. Fine Chanel, Dior.
There's one that I used to get.
Yeah, we don't know what it's
many,
called.
many years ago, and we just can't work out what it was.
You did have Aramis at one point.
No, it wasn't Aramis. I did.
But you did have Aramis.
I did. Yeah. Was that in a blue bottle?
No, it was a brown bottle.
Oh, maybe it was
brown
Aramis.
and gold.
Maybe it was Aramis.
You had Quorum.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah.
We had Vetiver de Puige.
Yeah. No, it wasn't that. Maybe it was Artemis.
Artemis, I don't know, maybe. I bought you one that was gorgeous.
Yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous, and we cannot remember the name of it.
No, we can't remember the name of it. It was cheap from a chemist, wasn't it?
I don't think I've ever worn a cheap fragrance, Paul. No, I used to wear cheap fragrances.
When they came around
in the
with
80s,
the bags.
In the 80s, you couldn't afford fragrance. We didn't have any money.
No.
You
And
know.
in London, they used to come around with, to offices with a suitcase full of fake fragrances, and they used to sell, didn't they?
Did they?
So, yes, they did.
Well, I used to sell fake.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You're right. There
I
we
did
are.
Echoes. I think I mentioned it last week. Echoes and Jean-Pierre Sand. It was a pyramid scheme. It was a pyramid scheme.
Oh dear.
Yeah. Anyway.
That was a big thing, yeah.
Yeah, I loved all of that
God,
shit.
you used to get door-to-door salesmen.
Yeah.
Do you remember those door-to-door salesmen?
Or do you remember Avon?
Yeah, but the ones that you would come with, what do you call, cloth polishers things and...
Betterware.
And, yeah, oh, I don't know, they'd have a little catalogue.
Yeah, Betterware.
Oh, yeah.
There was a girl up
Used
the
to
road
come
that
to
used
the
to do
door.
Betterware.
Yeah.
I used to invite her in for a chat.
Oh.
I know, I was nice.
Yeah, Ben.
Then, yeah. I've changed.
Oh dear, yes, your true self has come out.
Life has worn me down to make me the
Most
bitch I
probably.
am now.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not
it
a
has.
bitch. Why
Yeah.
does everybody think I'm a bitch?
You are, yeah.
Is it just because I'm blessed with this face?
Maybe. I think it's because you're blessed with that face and dark glasses, and you walk around 6'4", being completely aloof and ignoring everybody. I think that might be why.
You see, I should have been in an 80s soap opera.
Yeah, maybe.
Really? I can do
Yeah.
the face. I
Yeah.
have resting bitch face, I admit it. Anyway, God, just shush now, Paul. You're out of control. Anywho, Paul. It's time. It's time.
For what?
Word of the week. Word of the bloody week.
Isn't it word of the day?
It's word of the bloody week.
Fanciful week. Word of the fanciful week.
I really nearly swore then. It's every week. It's not every day.
I know, but it's the word
book,
of the day.
The book is, but I'm not calling it that. This is the book word of the, word for every day of the year by Stephen Poole. I like to give the author a credit, lest people think it's me that wrote it.
I don't think they would think.
I knew you were going to say that. So rude.
Oh dear.
So, okay. So, I'll choose the word from the 2 days, because today is the 20th.
Oh, now you're confused.
And tomorrow's the 21st, but I'm going to look and see which is the easiest
Which
word.
has got the shortest amount of text.
Oh, God. What?
Neither of them. There we
Not
are.
that one. I don't know how this is pronounced.
Well, just...
Presage.
Presage.
No. Prisage.
Presage.
Presage. Presage. Presage. See? It can be any of those. So let's read it, shall we? Are you sitting comfortably, boys and girls?
I am.
I'm not talking to you ever again.
Thanks.
James Butler, Duke of Ormond and latterly Lord Lieutenant of Ireland, who died on this day in 1688.
God, they're always being born or dying, aren't they?
Do you mind?
Oh, no, sorry.
Let me get into flow, which is something you really aren't very familiar with, are you, Paul? Because you interrupt. You see, I have to start again now. James Butler, Duke of Ormond and latterly Lord Lieutenant of Ireland, who died on this day in 1688, was a fortunate fellow, not least in the cut he made from the wine trade. As his biographer later wrote, the Marquis did not esteem any part of his revenue so much as he did that which arose from the presage of wines, or presage of wines. Every ship laden with wine that broke bulk in Ireland, paying him out of 18 ton, 2 ton, one behind the mast, and the other before. A ton was a large vat containing 240 to 250 gallons of wine.
So it's a duty.
The presage, or presage, from the French prise, past participle of prendre, to take.
Take.
Or to seize, was an ancient custom of payment in kind, owed by native traders to the Crown or to persons appointed by the Crown. Foreign traders, by contrast, would pay a similar toll, but in butlerage, as a butler was, and a high-ranking officer at court. And so the common phrase for such duties was presage and butlerage. These practices were abolished in 1809, but governments around the world still levy duties on the sale of alcohol, and so, though its benefits might eventually be more democratically spread out,
or not,
presage lives on.
So it's a duty.
Yeah.
It's a duty.
Yeah.
A percentage taken.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you.
I'm surprised it doesn't sort of give you the phonetic for each of the words. Don't go there, Paul. So.
Next week, guess who'll be reading Word of the Week? Thank you. Thank you. No, thank you.
No, thank you,
Thank
Richard.
you.
Thank you, Richard.
Right.
What have you done with your hair today?
Well, it was, you know...
It's in 2 knots.
It's always in 2 buns.
Is it?
Always, every single day of the bloody effing week, my hair is in 2 buns. All the time.
He moved some chairs last week or the week before, and I went to the plot and I came back and I didn't even notice that a big chair in here was our little chair and the little chair in there was our big chair. It took me like half a day to notice. I went to do something and I thought, oh, that chair's different. Yeah.
And the whole colour scheme had changed. I do it for myself.
Oh.
I do it to please
No,
my
I
eye.
like it. I like it. I like this throw. It's very silky.
Yeah,
It's
just
very
don't
nice.
ruin it.
How can I ruin it? I'm just... You've put it there for me to
Getting
lean
your
against.
toenails caught in it or
I
something.
don't put my toenails there.
So, it's time for the final segment of the week. What's that noise?
It's somebody outside. It's a delivery. There's lots of
No,
deliveries
it's a beeping
today.
noise. It stopped.
I couldn't hear a beeping noise.
Yeah, I could.
Maybe it was somebody reversing.
So, What have we watched on television this week, Paul? So we've continued with the sci-fi series Sunny.
Yeah, with Rashida Jones.
Yeah.
And I mean, you just don't know where it's going to go. You don't. It's really engaging, thoroughly engaging. But I wouldn't have thought that at the beginning of the last episode it would get to where it got at the end.
It's twisty.
It's
turny, and she has great eyebrows. Have you noticed how they've done her makeup?
No, you said this and I haven't. No, I don't notice.
They've done really angular eyebrows. Because normally she's got quite sort of normal curve, but they're really angular. And it almost reminds me of an anime.
Well, it's the same as the
character,
the robot, isn't it? The android. Was it android?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got like, you know, it's got a big round face with bold sort of facial features. You know, the very basic ones.
I feel as though they've given her a sort of. They have given her a very definite Japanese look. Her clothing is very Japanese. It's very sort of uber modern, you know, modern Japanese, that look. It's really trendy, and I love that look, I have to say.
I love the mother-in-law. I do love the mother-in-law. I think she's a great character.
So, yeah, we're enjoying it. It's well worth a watch. We watched a programme on ABBA called The Lost 40 Years.
I think that was Channel 5.
Kind of about their lives in between their first round of success, and then the sort of peaks and troughs of the ABBA phenomenon. So, you know, there was a period of time when they were super cool. There was the height of their fame. Then they kind of fell out of favour a little bit. And then there's been a couple of peaks where they become super cool. And of course they're super cool again now. Especially with the ABBA Voyage, and if you've not seen our review of the ABBA Voyage show, you can see it here.
I'm surprised they didn't mention Australia and Muriel's wedding, because that was sort of very ABBA, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that wasn't mentioned at all.
Absolutely,
and I think that really sort of lifted them, and then Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, was after that, you know. So yeah, I'm surprised they didn't mention that.
But that was all kind of around the similar time, if you think about it. Muriel's Wedding was early 90s, wasn't it?
I know.
Erasure's ABBA-esque EP was also early 90s.
Was it?
Yeah,
right.
It was. So all of those things were sort of around the same time, and that was sort of like their peak again.
And when was Mamma Mia then? What's that?
Mamma Mia was a bit
years?
later. That was another resurgence.
So that's just, was it around the late 90s then? Early 2000s?
Yeah, something like that. The stage production you're talking about. The film was later. Yeah, so, you know, it was very interesting. It was interesting to hear about the ups and downs that they've had personally. You know, so yeah, it's well worth a watch if you can watch it. We watched a really interesting programme called Operation Stonehenge, which was an exploration. What?
Yes. I think it was quite old, wasn't it? It was about 7 years old, I think.
Did we not watch...
We watched 2.
Was it 2 parts?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all about the recent, fairly recent, exploration of Stonehenge
and the surrounding area of Stonehenge more than
Stonehenge. The whole area. I just wish they'd get rid of that bloody road, the A303.
Well, it's interesting because there was an archaeologist saying that actually the damage has been done in putting that road in, and if they now put a tunnel underneath, they're going to actually start impacting on the archaeology beneath. And that will have an impact as well, and a negative impact, which I thought was quite interesting.
Well, yes, I've read all of that. I've read, you know, but clearly there is a case. I mean, for me, there's a case of returning the landscape back to how it was. I mean, it's like Avebury. We love Avebury. It's one of our favourite places to visit. The only negative aspect is the road that runs right through the village.
Yeah, but it will have always been a track that ran through, won't it?
Yeah, but you get a lot of big lorries going down there. And
Penteclicans you get.
They should just do a bypass. But again, that whole landscape is littered with archaeological interesting sites.
You do a bypass one way, you'd be impacting Silbury Hill.
Yeah.
You do another way, you'd be impacting a White Horse. You do another way, you'd be impacting one of the original beacon areas, wouldn't you?
So you put a restriction on heavy goods vehicles going through that route.
Yeah, I know, but then that means that heavy goods vehicles might then have to go another 40 miles, which puts up the price of goods and all of that. You know.
So I don't know, I think there's a strong case for having the landscape return to how it would have been. But then of course you've got an accessibility issue as well for people visiting.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So it's a very interesting debate. However, back to the purpose of the programme was to look at what the usage of Stonehenge was. And it was really interesting because for me it kind of came out as a Neolithic shopping mall.
Yes, you did say that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
there's somebody doing drilling now.
Oh, God, Saturday afternoon. Why can't people just have an afternoon nap?
Like you try and do most days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most days I think you'll find I'm at work, Paul.
Okay, most days when you're not at work. Yeah.
It was kind of, it seems like it was an important meeting area for ideas, for trade, you know, gold, all of these sort of commodities that would have been available, tin, bronze, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's really annoying me, that noise.
But it was quite interesting. They were talking about tin and then bronze being made and how it was made and what they had found and the knives that had been made and the ceremonial knives they'd found. So yeah, it was an interesting programme. I sort of feel that we'd seen bits of it before, but it was definitely worth a watch.
I think there's so many programmes on these, you know, places. Although I've not seen anything on Avebury for a while.
No.
I do apologise for that screeching noise, which sounds like somebody in a dentist chair. Let's hope the work is done.
Oh, let's hope so.
So, we also watched an interesting programme on the secret life of midges.
Yes.
Look, I'm itching already.
Oh, this was on BBC Two. We only caught about half of it.
It was all about the midges, these little biting flies that you get in Scotland.
Scotland!
Paul, do you mind? I do apologise to all our Scots viewers.
And those of Scottish heritage, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they are the bane of tourists' life.
It's renowned. They are renowned.
But it was also pretty disgusting. I mean, the amount of midges crawling on those poor people's skin was frankly vile.
Yeah. I mean, I've only experienced them once, and it was in the meadows at Edinburgh when I was there for the Edinburgh Fringe Festival, and that was many years ago. Can't remember what I had there.
Anyway, and the programme was exploring how to tackle this issue, because it seems that naturally there are far too many midges around for the food chain.
Yes.
So, you know, ways of repelling them are explored through science.
And those who naturally seem to be less or less prone to being bitten by midges compared to others. I mean, they did tests, didn't they, of like 6 or 8 people sitting with bare arms on a, you know, in a forest, and one person after 15 minutes or however long it was bitten, like, no, it's 5 minutes, was bitten 37 times. Another person,
blah, blah,
170.
Blah. So they're saying that, you know, there is clearly in some people a greater repellent ingredient.
A natural repellent.
Isolating that is another matter. They did try a natural repellent, which didn't really work.
Oh yes, what was that?
Something.
Bergamot, was it?
No, it wasn't bergamot.
It was something like that.
Bog myrtle.
Bog myrtle.
Thank you.
Bog myrtle
came to me eventually. So yeah, the programme made me itch.
It made me itch as well.
Yeah,
I'm and just thinking about it now is making me
itchy already.
Yeah, yeah. But it was good. It was good. We only saw half an hour, but it was good.
We also watched a programme on the Great Storm of 1987, which was the year we had hurricane force winds in the south of the UK.
Yeah.
It was October the 15th or 16th, something like that. I was living in Tootingbeck at the time in an attic flat, and my flatmate woke me up and said there's high wind, and I said, oh, go back to sleep, it's just wind, you know. And he said to me, no, this, I think it's really bad, because we hadn't received any kind of warning.
Well, they haven't,
because the weather forecasters failed through a number of reasons, failed to provide the forecast of this storm that was fast approaching and was going to rip through the south of England.
And the Channel Islands.
And my flatmate woke me up. I said, oh, for goodness sake, you know, it's work tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. It's 3 in the morning, whatever time it was. And we turned the lamps on and they flickered and went off. And the power went. And I remember hanging out the window at the back of the flat from the lounge, watching what only can be described as very similar to the scene in The Wizard of Oz where she's in the house. There were literally, actually things flying past, and the trees were bent. And it was pretty bad. I, at the time, had a radio on my Walkman. I had a Toshiba cassette player, you know, Walkman, and it had a radio on it. And in those days, you could tune in to the police.
Yeah, you could. Yeah,
and literally, there were police radio chatter going on. Tree down, car crushed. There's a tree down in this road, tree down in and it was just an absolute nightmare. It was a night of carnage, complete carnage. And I managed to get to work the following day for about 11 o'clock because everything was delayed. The power had come back on by then. Yeah, absolute nightmare. So it was quite nostalgic watching that programme.
I was living with Mum and Dad at Clos de Croix, Basse-Marie, Clos de Croix in Guernsey, and right at the back was a dilapidated vinery. It must have been about 10 greenhouses, about 50 foot by 150 foot, really quite dilapidated. By the morning, there weren't. They had all come down, or virtually come down, and there was glass shards in the Dad's lawn, and yeah, it was quite dangerous. Glass everywhere, basically. Yeah. And then that was an opportunity, of course, for them then to be built on. It was an act of God, so they could be built on. The vinery could be built on. Yeah.
So that was interesting. We also watched the 1970s programme, Those Were the Days.
Yeah, which was quite fun.
And it was quite interesting, actually, because Vivi was talking about clackers.
Oh yeah.
On one of her recent videos. That's what Vivi did next. And Vivi's Kitchen Garden, available here. And if you want to see Vivi's clackers in action, go over and watch. Not really. That's for her OnlyFans page.
Get up close and personal.
She was saying she'd never had clackers, and I said, well, you know what you're getting for Christmas.
I don't think I've ever had clackers.
You didn't have clackers? Well, that's what you're getting for your birthday next week, then.
So that you can play with my clackers.
I'd love to play with your clackers. I was good. I can do the proper up-down clacker-clacker.
Oh, we can do the proper up-down clacker-clacker. Yeah. Gosh, the joys of life, honestly. Yeah.
I don't remember hurting myself with clackers.
I'm sure you did.
I do remember hitting myself on the hand with a swing ball bat.
How do you hit yourself?
On Christmas Day. I hit myself, I know.
Did you get it on Christmas Day?
Well, my cousin did.
Right.
We went out, because very often Christmas Day is quite mild in the UK. And we went out to play, and I think I was serving.
Right.
So you hold the ball. It's got like a string, and then it's got like a plastic bit where the ball is joined, and you hold the plastic bit and you serve. And I think I accidentally hit my hand. Came right up. I remember. So that was a good programme. Those were the days. We also watched Secrets of the Sun with Dara O'Brien. I was a little bit disappointed by that programme.
I was rubbish.
And I thought it was very interesting when they showed that facility in France.
Oh, that was the most interesting.
With all those mirrors.
Yeah.
That they created
the
a
solar
furnace. But I thought it was really weird when she was putting her hand in to put that rock in the sweet spot. And there was no kind of protection.
Well, no, they just had a little thing to look through as well, didn't they? And it was sparking off.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know. She could have done that and it wasn't live at that time.
But she
and then
sprayed
the
water onto it to show the beams.
Oh, yeah.
And I thought to myself, you can do that with a magnifying glass and a piece of paper.
And without 10 million.
Really?
I mean, but that was actually the most
Did you used to do that with a magnifying glass? With the sun on a bit of paper?
Well, yeah, I think everybody did.
Did you, Paul?
Yeah, I used to write my name. Yeah. We used to have a thing where you had to do joined up writing with a magnifying glass.
Well, we didn't do it in school.
No, not in school. No, this was in our own time. Sort of exciting educational
Sounds
thing.
a little bit sophisticated for my liking. So, that was okay. I can't really say...
I didn't think it was that good.
I can't really recommend it.
There was a bit of editing at the beginning of the second part. He says something which should have actually been the beginning of it.
Anyway.
Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
And there was...
Give it energy. Don't give it energy, Paul.
No, unlike The Sun, which got lots of energy.
Also, surprise, surprise...
Cilla Black. No, what?
No. We've restarted Schitt's Creek.
Oh, we have, yes.
I don't know. We're almost at the end of season 1, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. And I shed my first little tear last night. Yeah. It's really interesting to see the character development, and it becomes more emotive, I think, the more you know about it.
I think the more you watch it, the more you see the light and shade, the education that they're all going through, the slow transformation of characters into different people with different values. The interplay between characters becomes much more colourful and detailed.
And the power dynamics as well, which sort of get shared around. Yeah, very interesting.
And you're watching the Turkish Detective, Paul.
Well, we started watching it, and he fell asleep at a bit of active running around.
It's not doing anything for me.
I think it's quite good.
Apart from him being easy on the eye.
Yeah, he is easy on the eye.
I'm waiting to see him take his shirt off. I mean, let me know if there's an episode where he does that, because there will be at some point.
Yeah.
Then I'll be interested.
Yeah.
Not really, I'm being flippant.
Flippant? That's a funny word, isn't
So,
it? Where's that come from?
I don't know, Paul, and I'm not going to look it up. So,
I might look it up.
That's
myself.
it for this week's
Sunday Chat!
Thank you, Paul. And we're saying goodbye now.
Are we saying goodbye?
We wish you well.
That's very nice green top, Richard.
Yes.
Is it got a Nehru collar? Is that a Nehru collar?
It's a Grandad collar.
Grandad collar.
It's a Grandad collar.
Right, yeah, not a Nehru collar. That's a pronounced one, isn't it? Nehru collar.
Paul, stop pretending you know things about fashion.
I've watched a bit of the Sewing Bee, so I know, you see. Yeah.
So, thank you, bloody thank you. Take care, toodle pip, au revoir.
You look very fresh-faced this week,
I
Richard.
am fresh-faced.
You look absolutely lovely and gorgeous.
With the addition of my new anti-aging essential oil serum, I can now look much younger than ever before.
You've made something to put on hair now, haven't you? You said?
That's how I used to look.
I don't think so.
Thank you for watching.
Yes, thank you for watching.
I just had a little bit of work done. There's just a little bit of seepage. Now you have to...
That's a throwback.
You have to say if you know which show that was from and what the name of the character was.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much. Take care, toodle pip, au revoir.
Bananas!
Tits and bums.